All right. Looks like we're live. So wait for you guys to show up. Sometimes it takes a few seconds. Plugging my music in on my end. Feel free to play some music on yours if you got something you like to listen to. I'll try to avoid the copyright laws and not play it for you. Sometimes I can't tell. These AirPods are so good sometimes. It sounds like the music is coming from outside. So I gotta like check. Is it the headphone or the phone? I think it's coming through the headphones. Well, feel free to say hi in the chat. Good to see you. We got about 30 people on. That's super fun. Let me know if there's anything you want to do today. Any pain points or anything in general you'd like to do? Can you guys hear me? Looks like it should be good. Hi in the chat. Hey, Marin from Amsterdam. Any requests today? Anything you guys want to do? Tapping, sure. Shoulders, ribs, waist. Sounds. Depression, sure. Okay. All right, that'll be the limit of my requests because otherwise it's going to overwhelm me. I'll forget them all. Hey, San Diego. Hey, Switzerland. What time is it in Switzerland? Okay, let's get started. Find yourself some space. Find a little space. Today we're going to start with just a little chi scattering. So we're going to bring the hands up. We're going to drop, back up, drop. What we're doing is one hand's coming behind, one hand's coming in front. And we keep returning back, shoulder head. We try to make the movement come from a little bounce in the knees, bouncing a little bit and turning the waist. So the arms aren't doing a lot of work, kind of relaxing the shoulders here. And you can use a pulsing breath here. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Kind of a quick breath on this one. Getting right into moving today. We'll slow it down a little later. I don't know if you can hear my breath, but I'm breathing out the mouth with a quick sigh with each drop. It's a nice one to clear tension from the shoulders, open the waist a little bit, and just get the blood moving. Slow it down. Find it similar with the legs. The leg's going to sweep across, back up, and down. So we lift first, sweep, back up, down. Sweep, up, down. Sweep, up, down. It's on to open the hip joint. Swinging is one of the common themes in Qigong, swinging a limb while relaxing around the main joint that we're swinging around. It's a very similar idea to physical therapy. If you ever did physical therapy, sometimes we'll have you hold a weight and kind of gently swing the arm and let the weight pull on the ligaments in the shoulder joint. It's a very similar concept with the swinging in Qigong. We're just using momentum instead of weight. Yeah, let's go back up to the shoulders. You're going to lift the left arm, drop it forward, down, and lift back up. This is a big circle coming down in front, up behind. Notice I'm turning my waist with the arm. And there's a little bounce in the knees again. So the knees bend as we come down, straighten as we come up. Small bounce. So that again, the arm's not doing a lot of work. The shoulder muscles are relaxed. The lower body's doing most of the work. Making a little space in the shoulder joint, stimulating the ligaments in there. Let's go the other direction. We're going to drop behind, sweep forward. Drop behind, sweep forward. And we'll do the other side. Dropping forward, come behind. Bouncing the knees, turning the waist. Other direction, dropping behind, sweep forward. And relax. This is so pleasant on my end with my music. If you're curious what I'm playing, it's by a person. It's literally an album called Qigong by someone who calls himself Dream Flute, I guess. But so much nicer with music. If you don't have it, what are you waiting for? Put some music on. Let's do both arms here. This one, a really good one for coordination as well as that shoulder mobility. I'll show you from the side first. You don't have to copy me yet. This is just what it looks like from the side. So I'm painting two circles going in opposite directions with my arms. Right. What I'm going to imagine is that I'm standing in an alleyway. So they paint those circles. They can't go out to the sides because there's walls on either side of me. This alleyway. And so I have to stay on this vertical plane. Okay, so let's try together. Bring both hands up. We'll break it into little pieces. So we're going to turn our hips to the right. Drop the right hand behind, the left hand in front. They both come down by the hips. We turn the hips to the left. And the left hand comes up behind, right hand up in front. We turn the hips to the right. Drop hands down, forwards and backwards. Hands by the hips, turn to the left. Lift hips up, forwards and backwards. And then we add one more piece. As the hands come down, we bend the knees. We turn, and as the hands come up, we straighten the legs. We turn, come down, bend the knees. Turn, come up, straighten the legs. And then we just put that all together. So we drop, and the turn of the waist and the bounce of the legs is what brings the arms back up. Again, the arms can be pretty relaxed as we're doing the motion. Most of the power coming from the lower body. Link your breath with this one too. Exhaling as we drop, inhaling as we turn. Relax. Take it out. We're going to go the other way. Just give your arms a little break. Bring the hands up. Let's go the other way, turning left. We drop. Hands by the hips, turn right. We lift. Turn, drop in the knees. Turn, lift, stand tall. Turn, drop in the knees. Turn, lift, stand tall. A little angle. Again, it's like we're standing in this alley, like if my shoulder were next to the wall, it couldn't go through the wall, right? It would have to stay going just upwards and downwards. Just imagine that on both sides. And relax. Very good. All right, let's stretch it out a bit up top. Bring the palms together behind the back, fingers pointing down. Roll those elbows and shoulders back. Lift your crown. Find a slow circle with the head. Really nice one to just open all around the neck and shoulders. Big slow circle. And take some deep breaths with it. And the other direction. Ear to one shoulder. And then stretching the side of the neck and give the chin a little circle in the air. Other direction. Over to the other side. Find the stretch in the neck. Find a good angle to get that stretch and then circle into it. Lift the chin like you're tracing a quarter in the air. Other direction with that circle. And release. Shake out the arms. Good. Let's warm things up a bit more. We're going to find a little bit more of these hip openers. So this one, we're just going to lift the knee and bring it out. So we lift the knee a little across the center line and then out from the center line. So instead of lifting straight forward, try to come across the center and out, out, out. And I go into open and strengthen the hips. This one we are using the muscles, less of a swing motion. And then try going the other way, cutting in. Bring the hands out, step your left foot back. We're going to turn this into a crescent kick. So the crescent kick goes like this. We take the back foot, we cut across the center line, up and over, and land back where we start. So this can be pretty small if you're feeling a little tighter in the hip. This can be like you're sweeping the leg, or it can be like you're going right up for the head kick. But again, really nice one to strengthen and open the hips and also work our balance a little bit here. Now we're going to try going the other way. So now going in and back. So we start going out, cut in and back. I'll do that kind of small. Just look like that. Doesn't have to be a huge thing. But basically the pattern is it's a big arc, and then you cut back in a straight line, diagonal back. So big arc, cut back. Big arc, cut back. A bit of an awkward kick. It's like you're trying to kick somebody with the inside of your foot. Go the other way. Right foot back. First the outside kick. So we start with the inside, just a straight line. And then it goes out. This can be low if you're feeling tight again, or high for more challenge. A very impractical kick. I wouldn't recommend using in a fight. Let's go the other way. So we do an arc in and a straight line back. Arc in, straight line back. Good, relax. Okay, let's stretch it out a bit. Take your legs wide. Return on the left heel. Mirror you. Turn the left heel. Which way did I say? Turn on the left heel. Going to the left feet perpendicular. We're going to find a little variation of triangle pose here, just folding over that front leg sideways. And coming back up. We're going to try to keep the spine straight here. So as we fold over that leg, it's just the hip that's bending. As we come back up, nice straight spine. Then you can bring the arms in. One hand comes down to the leg or the floor, wherever you reach. Other hand up to the sky. And we're going to come back up. And here we're going to bend the spine and waist. Do a little side bend. So you come down, touch the leg. Come up, touch the back leg. Reach up and over. Find a nice little stretch up your waist. So this one to stretch the inner hamstring. This one to stretch the waist. Exhale down. Inhale up. If you like a little more challenge for your core, you can find this funny arm position. Your hands turning like clock hands. A little yin-yang spiral through the arms. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Nice movement to build heat, to stretch, to reset the body. Hit that big reset button, opening up the channels. Okay, we're going to bring it up. Turn the left toes forward, turn the right toes to the right. Both legs are straight, but I recommend a little tiny bend in that front knee so it's not doing this, like bending a little backwards, putting pressure on the knee. So I put a little tiny bend in it to protect the knee. Hands on the hips, straight spine. Let's just find the spinal motion first. It's the hip that hinges, so it's not the spine bending. If you feel your spine bent, it's kind of wrong. And then try to keep a straight spine, just hinge from the hips and come straight back up. A very linear motion, only one point is bending. And we can add the arms. So you come up, left arm to left leg. Right hand first reaches up and then over. So as we bend, we have a nice long, safe spine. As we come down, try to keep the straight spine, so don't bend over. Keep nice and long. Bending the waist, and straight spine, stretching the inner hamstring. Inhaling up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Feel free to add those yin-yang arms if you like a little more challenge. So now your weight, instead of supporting yourself with the arm, you have to support yourself with the obliques. Qigong, we want to transform our energy, cultivate more peace, all that good stuff. But we also, why not be able to move like a ninja while we're at it? Cultivate some strength, balance, and flexibility. Back to the center. We'll just turn the toes forward, and we'll just slide down, stretch, nice and easy. Couple deep breaths. Bring the hands over to the left leg. And we'll find another little flow here, lifting the left arm, turning, looking towards the sky. Left hand comes down for the right leg, right arm lifts. And we turn the head, look towards the sky, twist the spine. We're just going to make this little flow, so going back and forth. Here, lifting left arm, inhale. Exhale it down. Inhale right arm. Exhale it down. Nice twist through the spine. Stretch up the outer hamstrings then. Keep the spine pretty straight on this one. So as you're twisting, straight spine again, instead of kind of rounding and twisting, which can really stress those lower spinal discs, try to keep it nice and straight. If you're folding forward, it's from the hip joint and not from the spine rounding here. Really important to keep those discs safe. They get especially stressed when we twist and fold them at the same time. All right, let's hold on one side. Nice deep breath. Keep that spine straight by reaching the crown of the head and the tailbone away from each other. We're going to bring it down for the other side. Reach the crown away from the tailbone. And release. Roll it up. Bring it in. Good. Well, it's not like it's never okay to bend your spine. Obviously, we want to do that, and sometimes in our practice to open the spine itself. It depends what you're going for. If you're trying to stretch the legs, hamstrings and whatnot, it doesn't really help to bend the spine. Right? Bending the spine will stretch the back. It's not necessarily going to stretch the hamstrings more. So it depends what we're going for. All right, let's find that tapping. Up and down on the sternum. Deep breaths here. Here we can clear the heart. Think of the vibrating from the tapping like it's dissolving stagnant energy and emotions in the heart. Take a deep breath in Feel like you release that stagnant energy with a sighing breath. And deep breath in the nose. Think of the hands like they're dissolving stuck energy. A big breath out to release stuck energy. And in the nose, this time let's hold the breath. Tap a little harder if you can. And a big sigh. One more time, deep breath in. Breath hold. And a big sigh. Good, open one arm. We're going to tap down the inside of the arm. I like to use a fist on the arms. I don't know why. This feels better for me. You're welcome to use an open palm. That feels better. Go down the inside, following the yin meridians. Up the outside, following the yang. You don't believe in meridian woo-woo stuff. You can just think of this as breaking up tension in the muscles and fascia, allowing energy and blood to flow more freely through the body. Come across the chest, down the inside of the arm, up the outside. So there's lots of cool woo-woo stuff in Qigong. I love the idea of meridians, elements, Qi, Jing, Shen, all that cool stuff. But I do like to preface, you don't actually have to believe in any of that to get the benefits of Qigong. You can really just think of it as something freeing up the flow of blood, calming the nervous system, shifting to the parasympathetic state, changing the brain waves. There's all kinds of scientific ways you can explain what's happening in Qigong. Don't require you to believe in anything esoteric. Come to the low back, go up and down. I only believe in it because I've experienced so much weird shit. But don't expect anyone else to believe stuff just based on my experiences. Up and down. Let's find the armpits to the ribs. We go downwards from the armpit down the rib cage. Getting those liver and gallbladder channels. And then down the back of the legs. I like to use open palms on the legs. And then up the inside. And if we're thinking of the meridians down the back, we're following more of the yang channels. Of the inside, following the yin channels. Knock hip crease. And relax. Feel your body. Take a deep breath. Good. That's our cheek. Shake the body. Clear tension. So confusing. I have a little image of myself on the screen, but it flips it. So when I lift my right arm, I see it lift up on the left. So it's hard to look at myself because if my posture starts to like slump to one side or the other, it's like hard to fix because I want to lift the side that looks like I'm looking in the mirror. So I feel like I keep winding up really weird posture in these streams. Nice if I could flip the camera. Shaking the body, clearing any stagnant chi. Especially if you've been wearing a shirt for 3 or 4 days, same shirt. And some of you might have noticed. Might have some stagnant chi in your shirt. I even wore this on like this super sweaty hike on like a 90-degree day down in the desert. We went to the sand dunes, which is really like, apparently there's sand dunes in Idaho, which were really fun. All these kids brought like cardboard boxes and they're like sliding down the sand dunes. We went to this. It looked like we were driving in the middle of nowhere, but we were going to this like natural spring, and it's just all like farmland and desert and stuff. And we're like, where are we going? This doesn't look as beautiful as the pictures. But then you get to a spot where the ground opens up. It was just like a canyon just kind of came out of nowhere. And there was a natural spring coming out of under the rocks and just formed this huge river. So I guess there must have been some gigantic underground river. Becomes a waterfall, becomes a lake. So we had a really fun day playing around there. But we went with Sarah, my fiance, and her sister. And we were all like, Instagramming while we're walking around next to this river. And Sarah's sister was like not paying attention and slipped on something and fell through a poison ivy bush that was inside of a stinging nettle bush into this freezing cold alpine lake. Fortunately, she didn't fall in the part where the river was like really strong. That probably would have been really bad. But she came out of this water totally drenched and just immediately covered in hives, her whole body. Really bad hives. She was itching and burning and stuff. And then when we were kind of cleaning up and trying to move her out of there, we saw there was a rattlesnake in the bush right next to this poison ivy and stinging nettle. And we was like, man, how much bad luck was going to come together in this one spot? But unfortunately, I guess the water was like healing or something, because we went around the lake and found a spot to go swimming, and like the super cold mineral water or something just like totally got rid of her hives, which is really interesting. So we barely needed to give her any medication. All right, slow it down. Pause, feel your chi. I would have filmed some Qigong videos there, but I couldn't figure out how to get all my camera gear down this cliff. All right, so we had a request for the healing sounds, and we were just working on those in our the teacher training yesterday. So maybe some of my teacher trainers are watching, and this will be a good review for you guys. So we're gonna start with the feet shoulder width. Start to find Tai Chi opening, just kind of entering the flow. We're going to do a little 5-element flow where we do one healing sound with each motion. Each sound is said to cleanse a specific organ of emotional imbalances stored there. So a bit counterintuitive to a Western mind, but it's kind of weird because we always talk about the heart as having something to do with emotions. This doesn't make a lot of sense because the brain is where all those neurotransmitters are. I guess the gut makes a lot of them too. But what does the heart have to do with emotion that we know scientifically? I don't know about a lot. But we do experience our emotions in the area of the heart. And we experience them in the gut. We experience them in the liver. We experience them in the low back, in the throat. There's all these areas in the body that'll tighten up, that we feel the energy of emotion, that'll open up or move. We get butterflies in the stomach, right? So our emotion is much more tied to everything below the neck than the brain above the neck. So that's kind of the theory in Qigong, is how do we clear that emotional energy, the psychic energy of emotion, the experiential energy of emotion? How do we transform it? So the ancient Qigong masters found certain sounds that seem to be like secret keys to transform these energies. I was very skeptical of them at first, but as I was doing them, I kept noticing the liver sound was especially potent for me. Every time I got to the liver sound, it would just clear away a whole lot of stuff I had built up, like brain fog and confusion and things like that. And later, I saw a bunch of different acupuncturists who all diagnosed me with the same condition, liver stagnation. And so it's kind of interesting. The liver sound seemed to help. All the acupuncturists then later said I had liver qi stagnation. That seems like a good placebo test to me. Anyways, let's bring it up. Open the chest. First movement is for the lungs. It's called the white crane soaring. Inhale as we open the chest. Exhale as we sink back. Right now we're breathing through the nose. We're going to add a little sound. The sound is just done in a whisper. So we don't use the vocal cords. You don't have to worry about embarrassing yourself in front of whoever you live with. Very soft, gentle sound. It's just the letter S that we do in a long whisper. I'll just make it on the exhale. Let me make sure you can hear that. Keep on going. We inhale as we open. Exhale, long letter S. Speaking of rattlesnakes, just like a snake hissing. I'll just hold the intention that this sound is dissolving and clearing depression, sadness or grief, the heavy emotions. Dissolve and cleared by that letter S sound. Let's do one more. Bring it down. And we go from the sound to a color. I'm going to bring the hands over the lungs, just a few inches off the body. Take a couple deep breaths, feel into your lungs, and imagine that the lungs are shining with white light. And this white light representing your potential for courage, optimism, inspiration. Opposite energies of depression. So even if it just feels like the tiniest spark or seed of that energy, just focus on what is already within you, the courage, the optimism, the inspiration. Just breathe into that like watering a seed, even if it's just the tiniest amount. You might notice as you practice Qigong, this interesting ability that we have to amplify our positive emotions just by focusing on them, really. I'm going to drop this one down. Next movement is called the fountain. So it's for the kidneys. The back of the hands come towards each other. We inhale as we roll up. Exhale as the hands float out. Hips sink back. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, hips sink back. We're a little fluid in our spine and hips. For this one, the sound is a whispered choo, C-H-O-O, whispered. Choo. Should sound a little bit like a wave crashing. And from the kidneys and technically the adrenals, they say we clear fear. Any energy of fear in your body, feel that it's dissolving, clearing away. With that sound. We're going to let it down, relax. This is the only one we touch the body in the posture. So here we bring the palms onto the low back. Try to still find a nice, decent posture. A few deep breaths. Attention to the low back. It's the area we call the door of life. It's not where your kidneys are, but it corresponds energetically. Kidneys are just above at the low or the mid back. So just hold your attention throughout this region. Begin to imagine deep blue light here. Deep blue light representing tranquility. Fear transforming to tranquility. Really focus on the tranquility that's already within you, as though we just amplify it. You let it down. Our next flow we call the tree sways in the wind. Do a little turn to one side from the hips, draw up the ribs, up to the top of the head, turn to the center, and flow down. Following the liver channels here, drawing up the ribs, up to the head, turn to the center, and flow down. Moving with our breath, inhaling up. Turn and exhale down. Our sound for the liver is SH, like telling someone to be quiet. Inhale up. Exhale long and soft with the sound. From the liver, we clear anger. All the emotions associated with anger, frustration, stress, jealousy. Think of the sound like wind through the leaves of a tree, breaking off the rigid and brittle, leaving behind the supple and flexible. Last one. I'm going to bring the hands over the liver. Liver's on your right side of the ribs, underneath the chest. Make sure it's your right. A few deep breaths. Feel into the rib cage. This one, the hands don't touch the body. You can imagine the liver shining with green light, like a forest green, representing kindness, flexibility, mental clarity. I'm going to drop it down. Next one's for the heart. A little more complicated. The left finger points to the right funny bone. We're going to turn to our left. Lift the left hand up by the forehead and press with the right hand from the chest. We bring the left elbow back in now to the right fingers, making this L shape. We turn, Lift the right hand, press with the left hand. Bring it back in. Turn, lift, and push. Back in, we're inhaling back to the center. Exhale, lift and press. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, lift and press. Okay, let's add the sound for the heart, which is ha, whispered, H-A. Inhale. Exhale, ha. You're going to drop it back down. Hands over the center of the chest. Centers of the palms cross, so not the fingers, not the wrists. Center of the palm. Hold that just in front of the sternum. Sink your mind to the heart. At the heart, we're going to imagine warm red light, representing the virtues of the heart, basically the same across cultures. Love, forgiveness, joy, acceptance. Basically cultivating a warm heart, a red light, representing that warmth. Dropping down. Last organ, the pancreas, right here at the solar plexus. Palms are face down. They float forward like they're ripples on a lake, bouncing off the edges of the lake and coming back to the center. Call this pebble in the pond, so that we drop a pebble from the abdomen. Ripples go out, we draw back in. With our breath, we're exhaling as the hands go out, hips sink back. Inhale as we stand back up, bringing the hands in. Exhale, float out, sink. Inhale, draw back in. We'll add the pancreas sound, which is ho, whispered, very guttural. Making the sound from the back of the throat as though you're breathing out of your stomach. We're going to bring it in over the stomach and pancreas. That's on your left side, under the ribs, beneath the chest. And imagine here, left side of the ribs and solar plexus filling up with golden yellow light, representing, in this case, centeredness and stability. These are our earth element organs. That yellow light representing the earth phase of our chi. Balance, centeredness, stability. Again, imagine like you're breathing into the centeredness that is already within you. And drop it down. And the last sound is like a general cleanse through the whole body. Float the hands up. Exhale as we draw down, the hands guiding the awareness through the body. So scanning awareness, head to toe. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, scan the body, head to toe. We're going to imagine here the color as we scan. So here, purple light scanning down through your body. Imagine like the purple light has the quality of dissolving, just like the sounds. As it passes through you, the purple light dissolves stuck energy, stuck emotions. It just helps them to clear and transform. We add the sound to help this. The sound here is he, H-E. Again, we're doing a whisper, no vocal cords. Gonna let go. Step the feet in. Hands fold over the dantian, just below your belly. We'll relax into bamboo in the wind. Let yourself rock and sway. Very slowly stepping it out, circling the belly. Take a few deep abdominal breaths, just helping to sink and settle the chi to the lower abdomen. Now we're going to take a deep breath in. Release with a big sigh, let the energy spread. Very nice. You can give a little movement. Okay, very good. If you have a few minutes, get ready for meditation. Just five minutes or so, just to let the energy really settle into us. Sometimes nice before we rush off into the day. Just take a moment to really enjoy the benefits. Just find a nice, comfortable position. Doesn't have to be anything special. Once you find your position, Let's return to finding your breath. Now you can let your breath be a little more natural instead of trying to time the breath or lengthen or deepen it. See what the breath wants to do on its own. Use it as the focal point for the mind. Get very curious about your breath. Curious about the breath, just watching. As gently as a leaf, settling onto the surface of the lake, floating gently on top. Settle the mind onto the breath, gently and patiently. Anywhere in your body you feel the breath is a perfectly acceptable place to focus. Just another minute or so. Mind naturally, very natural for the mind to wander off. Very gently, patiently, continuously bring it back. Just enjoy the presence you've cultivated. Fold the hands over the belly. And again, centering, just make a few circles. And you can control the breath a little. Take a few deep, slow belly breaths. Nice deep breath. Big sigh, release. Very nice. Again, feel free to give yourself a little movement or stretch. Make sure that energy is circulating. Very nice. Good. How are we feeling? Charged up? Relieved? Healing sounds can be pretty potent. I think somebody said, what a strong fire energy. I'm going to chill a bit. So sometimes weird things come out of those sounds, like the body will start to dissipate a whole bunch of heat stuck in an organ, or lots of weird stuff will happen. So thanks. I liked my 4-day-old shirt joke too. Fletcher, if you want to send me your music, just go to my website. At the bottom, there's a contact form, and you can send me emails and stuff through that. So my website's actually just in the link below this, nickloffree.com. Yeah, I'm actually preparing to launch the next round of my teacher training. I think it's going to start in September. We have 4 weeks left of the one we're doing. But I've been getting like 4 emails a week of people asking if I'm doing another one soon. So I decided to do another one soon. So I'm going to run the next one. I think I'm going to start in September. And if you want to get notified when I announce that, you might want to jump on my email list, which comes with a nice little gift. If you go to my website again in the description below, nickloffree.com. There's a little pop-up comes up on the website, and it's like, hey, would you like a free video? Give us your email, join the email list, and then you'll hear all that. No, not level 2 yet. It's going to be another round of level 1. Level 2, I'll have to do a few rounds of level 1, I think, first, so I have enough people to actually market the level 2 too. So probably next year. Glad you liked the class, John. Glad it helped your back, Jackie. Thanks, Anne. Thanks, Evan. Yeah, also I do these classes every day on Zoom. They are paid. It's like $10 a class, but the first one's free. So if you just want to come take a free class sometime, link to that is also in the description, viasession.com/nickloffree, or just go to my website and click classes and it'll take you there. It's kind of a cool portal. You just click the class you want to join and it gives you the Zoom link, and I have to answer a lot less emails now because of that. So feel free to join me Monday through Friday, same time as this class on Zoom. Super fun. Can see you guys too, which is nice if you want. Have you ever looked up the Haka hose? Maka hose. I don't know what that is. Is it a Hawaiian thing? Spelled wrong. Oh. I like how in Hawaii they call they have basically the same idea as chi, or similar idea, but they call mana. Which is so weird. Doesn't that sound a whole lot like prana from India, like a million miles away from there? I wonder why. Shiatsu meridian stretches. I've studied a little bit of shiatsu. That's pretty fun. Good way to learn. It's a kind of a fun way to learn the meridians instead of just looking at a book. You play with people's bodies. It's really fun. Tui Na is a really nice kind of Chinese alternative to that. Oh, thanks, Linda. Recommending the teacher training. That means a lot. All right. Well, super fun seeing everybody. I don't know why so many of you stick around to watch me chat, but it's really nice to hang out. This is one of my favorite things I do all week. So thanks for joining. And I'll see you next week. Ciao.